And we have Juan, let's see how this goes, Garavaglia?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And is your partner
Yes.
presenting too? And I'm sorry, I don't have your name.
Matteo Friedman and
Okay.
Fernando Pellicciani.
Great. Thanks so much, guys. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Juan. I'm from Bitprim. We are a team. We are part of the team of Bitprim. We are from Argentina. We will talk. Our talk we will be split in several parts. A brief introduction about Bitprim, but we don't wish to sell the product. We just to give an idea what we are doing. Also, I will focus a lot on the developers' situation and what we need to move forward fast and what we need to fix the developers' ecosystem. And as part of that, after that, Fernando will show really what we are doing at Bitprim to give materialize the way we are approaching the market and how we are going to how we materialize the way we are going to help developers. So let me give the mic to Matteo to do the first part.
Hi. First, thanks for having us here and giving us this space. I'm Matteo. I'm a mathematician for Bitprim. Before entering the world of Bitcoin, I worked with applied mathematics, the best kind of mathematics. And I work with a field inside mathematics that's called biomathematics. It's biology or mathematics applied to biology. And I make mathematical models to explain the relationship between frogs and birds with their environment. So the next logical step was entering Bitcoin. So, and I start from zero, from scratch, and I became like crazy because you can find a lot of mathematics from different fields, statistics, probabilistic, game theory, crypto, a lot. You can enter Bitcoin from a lot of different points of views, and that's so cool for me. But okay, so okay, Bitprim is a monetary platform, and our service is money. That's it. Bitcoin is money. It's nothing else. You can say it's like I don't know, like so you can put your ideas on it, or you can say it's like a new, like part of a new form of government or anything else. But now Bitcoin is money, and it was created as money. So when I'm gonna tell you a little more about Bitprim. How this works? Bitprim is based in Argentina, and this is Messi. If you don't know him, he's our president. So, thanks. That's totally accurate. You can look it up on Wikipedia. Modify it. The idea started late in 2014, originally with the name of Nakamoto Labs. At first, we look at all the implementations like GoCoin and BTCD. Even we consider started from zero, but at the end we forked from Lead Bitcoin. That is an implementation that started in 2011 with Amir Chaki, and Eric Bosquill is leading the way since then. And what? Oh, you already man real works in Bitcoin and Litecoin. So any company needs a guru. Any company, any Bitcoin, self-proclaimed Bitcoin company needs a guru, needs a genius, needs a crypto wizard, needs a guy who leads the way. And the truth is, we don't have one. Because the team is the guru. We are the sum of individual experiences and individual workforce and from different fields, and that's it. We each contribute with what we got, and that's it. So that's Bitprim. And what we're doing, we're creating tools that help create the platform for the future of Bitcoin, that help people enter the world of Bitcoin. So what we want to do is impulse a massive Bitcoin adoption, but making it easier and making it approachable and making it easier for anyone. Even me, I'm a mathematician and I know very little of programming. So we're creating a platform that has a modular architecture, is simpler to modify, simpler to expand, and simpler to learn. So if you're a guy that heard about Bitcoin and want to just look it up and enter the world, you don't get disappointed or just, oh, this is so complicated, and we want to make your life easier, and that's it. So our platform now includes nothing. A large block net with blocks up to 8 megabytes. Litecoin, real consensus. That is, we check before publishing our blogs. We check with other implementations if the blog is valid with those implementations, and then we publish it so we know it's gonna be valid for all. Modular ZeroMQ, RPC support, and a mining engine. And we are a platform that includes implementation, so we are working, and the people in Bitprim are working in trying to make Bitcoin better or from different angles. I try to explore the capabilities of behind the math and how can I can I add some value to the mathematics. And I have read a lot of papers. Any contribution that is out there in the internet, maybe I have read it. And from both sides, not only for the side that might be aligned with my ideology of what I want from Bitcoin, but I read all, because I think any voice should be heard. So, and that's the cool thing about Bitcoin. We should hear everyone, so we can cooperate and create a better Bitcoin, and that's it. So, next, and a consensus model. In progress, we have extension block, Bitcoin ABC, Skypeer, that's for fast transaction and block relay, a C API, and multi-language API, and a REST API. And now I'm gonna give the mic to Juan, that's gonna tell you some more. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Mateo. I wish to insist that for me, Bitcoin is money. Bitcoin is a digital peer-to-peer cash system, and that's the main mission. All the rest of the features we can add, great, but if we don't affect the main mission. Oops, sorry. ¿Este no?
This is ese que lo pone blanco.
Okay. So let me try. I'm going to focus on the developers and how we need to move forward into the developing community. I wish to introduce some topics that may look a bit unconnected, but I promise we'll connect. Paper money has been invented by Chinese a long time ago. And IBM was founded in 1911, and in about 1952 they created the first computer. And from 1920s, the gold standard started to collapse in all the curve. the currencies, the paper money start losing the gold standard. So the point here is we need to compete with a system, the paper money and the monetary system that has been in use for centuries. And that paper money has been translated into electronic money, into digital money, using computers, since the computers has been created and are commercially available. And basically, the computer industry has that customer. The computers represent paper money digitally, and that has been in production for a long time. To build a new monetary system that can compete with a system that has centuries and electronically is almost the first commercial computer application, will require a lot of people. Not 20, not 30, a lot of people. We need to replace millions of lines of code, thousands of applications. And also we need to get into a market that already exists. So we need to make space for us. They are not giving us the space. We need to make our own space. So basically, we need more developers. So we all remember Steve Ballmer with his crazy life, but really in this case is very real. We need many more developers. We wish to hire 40 more developers, and really it's like a science. It's the most complex part of the business. It can't be this way. We need to help people, and really there is a lot of people out there with the skills, and we are not letting them get involved with us, with the community. We are working like in a way like if it's more complex, it's better. So just only wizards can understand it, because if not, maybe people that don't have enough skills may join us, and that attitude will make us fail. There's no option. We need many more people. So we need to attract more people. We need to train the people. We need to create a learning path for people that wish to get involved, and that is critical because all of the developers here agree that they may have a friend that is a senior developer with a lot of skills. May take a year until that guy, even if it's a smart guy, a good professional with a lot of experience, to understand how everything works and can start contributing actively. So we need to make things much more simpler. Oh, sorry. The other point is, right now, Bitcoin includes different skills: economics, programming, cryptography, game theory, databases. Nobody can be an expert in everything. It's impossible. So you may be very good in cryptography and an average coder. You can be a very good coder and have some ideas of DBA. You may be a good in peer-to-peer and have some good coding skills, but probably not much cryptographic stuff. But really, nobody can do everything. So we need to understand, we need to find a way to include people with different skills working together, aligned with the same mission. The challenge is big, and we don't have much time to do it. Also, Bitcoin is a product. Bitcoin needs users. If we don't have users, there's no sense. The user's experience needs to be improved a lot, because for non-experts, for non-technical people, it's really quite complex to use the system right now. And we need to expand aggressively in a short period of time, not just for few people. We need 1 billion guys. So we need to change the way we are providing the service. We need to improve dramatically the user experience. This is not an option. We need to do it now. So we need to include also people that may not have technical skills, but understand what users needs, that can analyze the user experience, that can understand what companies need to become part of the community, and that those voices needs to be an integral part of the process. May not sound very funny, may not be very sexy, but if we continue working randomly and everyone bringing new solutions and everyone trying to give his idea to solve the same problem, and many times the solutions are very similar, we are going nowhere, and that is proven. We are going nowhere in this way. We need to give up a bit of our freedom and try to align under a minimum understanding of what is our mission. Because if not, even if one guy, one idea, one concept wins, we will lose the war. We will win the battle and we will lose the war. Really, we need to find a minimum understanding of what we are trying to do, and we need to do it now. There's no more time to do it. We can do it. We need to align the vision and how we execute it, and include more people. We need at least 100 times more developers in the next five years. Not twice, not 20 more guys, not at least. If we can't do that, we will never see the Bitcoin vision materialized. Why? Because, and this is not technical, it's about business. When we already show what we're trying to do, we wish a space, we wish our slice of the financial system. Great. So the financial system already knows that. So we are and we show already how we are planning to do it. So once you show your target, when you show your strategy, when you show how you're going to do it, you don't have much time to execute it. You can start thinking and wait, because they will adapt. It's a game. They will adapt. If you give them time to adapt and to find the solutions, when you arrive to that point, they are waiting for you. And believe me, we will not win in this way. In the other side, we start that mission, and we show others there's an opportunity. If we don't get there fast enough, others will do it. So, or we are too late, and in the other side, they are waiting us, or the guys that realize we show them where to go will arrive there before. In both scenarios, we are out of the business. I have been analyzing. This is a growing ecosystem. So and we have many of the smartest developers I ever saw. And it's clear here we saw enough talent to make this happen. We just need to work more efficiently. And Bitcoin involves people, because it's a network, and we have users and we have people involved, and involve money, because our service is money. So Bitcoin needs money and people all the time. Bitcoin without people or without money don't exist. And like it or not, when you have people, you have politics. Even small organizations of 5 guys, if you need to take a decision, politics are involved. You can't, it comes together, people and politics. So what, it's frustrating really when you see someone says that your argument is a politic argument. Obviously it's a politic argument. It's people involved. You can remove it. Really, is very obvious. And the other concept that is totally wrong, they said, no, because that company or that guy has interest. Obviously, if there's money involved, there are interests behind. And the only way to remove the interest from the ecosystem is to remove money, and you will kill Bitcoin. So wake up. We are going to have more interests involved and more politics. And it's part of the game. There's no possible to remove it from the game. If we have a problem, if we have a situation where we need more developers, more people involved to make this happen, we need to consider every change of the protocol or every change we wish to introduce. We need to be sure how will impact in that situation. Any protocol change must be included only if, or it fixes a proven security hole that we need to change the protocol, or it's like an emergency change, or it helps everyday Bitcoin experience. Or fix a hole, or makes the adoption faster. We need much faster adoption. And at the end, any change needs to consider how it makes simpler the developers' life, because we need developers to make solutions to get better services for users. So every change that will not help adoption in a tangible way, we are totally sure this change will bring more users. Without that, we don't need to include it. Really, we need to put it in the backlog. We need to prioritize what to do first. And first is to make it simpler for developers, so the learning curve is at least not worse than today. And the other and needs to help how is the user experience with Bitcoin overall that really needs to be improved a lot. Okay, sorry. Let me, Fernando, now we will wish you how it's not what we talk and what we think, is what we are doing really to help into this vision. And this part is a bit more technical, so for some people will be a bit boring. Maybe for technical guys it's more interesting. So, Fernando, it's all yours.
Thanks, Juan. Hello, my name is Fernando Pelliccioni. I have been a programmer for more than 20 years, a C++ programmer to be more specific. I am working at Bitprim as lead developer, and I will show you what we are doing at Bitprim to make the programmer's life easier. Bitprim is a platform for writing Bitcoin applications. Bitprim is built in the C++ language, but C++ language is a difficult language to interact with other languages. So we are writing a C API. I call that C API a foundation API because it allows us to create other APIs in different programming languages. In addition to our C API, we are working in a Python API, a C# API, JavaScript API, and a Go language API. But our C API allow us to create an API you want in the language you want. And then you can write another kind of APIs on top of that. For example, a REST API, and then on top of all that stuff, your application. For example, a colleague of mine is working in an Eiffel programming language API, the last one symbol. I am very happy that he is working on that. So let me show you some code. Can you switch, please? He's the programmer. So this is an example of the Python API. To use Bitprim, first you have to import the Bitprim module, first line. Then here I have a helper function that uses a function of our API. The function is called mnemonic to seed. The input to that function is a list of mnemonics as a string. Then I split the string and give the list of strings to our API. The function mnemonic to seed returns the seed related to the mnemonic you give. So I have a prefix example to speed up the presentation. I have some mnemonics in English, in Spanish, in French, and Chinese. So let me run that code. Mnemonics. So the standard output has 4 seeds corresponding to the mnemonics, the 4 set of mnemonics. I can check. We can check it using that tool. For example, the English set start with D7 and ends with 39. And oh, how can I
can see it.
well,
It's an H.
I copy that. This is easier. Well, it's the same, and I can do it for the rest of the language. I will skip French, sorry. Sorry, Amaury. This is French, and this is Chinese. So it is the same. This function that not depends of the blockchain is a cryptographic function, so you can run it this way, very simple. Let me show you the second example. This is written in JavaScript as a Node.js module. Again, like the previous example, you have to include our module, the Bitprim. Then I have some stuff, and with these lines, you run the node. Here we have a blockchain. With this, I have 20 lines to set at a REST API and launch a HTTP server. The REST API in this case has 2 functions. A last height function to get the tip of the blockchain, that use our exec is an object created by our module. So you can use the function get last height to get the tip of the blockchain, and the other function is called validate tx, validates a transaction encoded as an hexadecimal string. So if a transaction is valid, print that, and if the transaction is invalid, give us an error code and a message. So I will run that code. Node validate tx. This is a log from the node. And to check that, I will pick a transaction. For example, that one. And I need a way to convert, to get the hexadecimal. Oh. With this tool, I get the hexadecimal string representation of the transaction, and then HTTP. Validate tx slash the hexadecimal string. So transaction is valid. Transaction is valid in this case because I have the blockchain stopped at that height, and I stop the blockchain for purpose to show that the transaction is valid in that moment of time. If a few blocks later the transaction is no more valid because is that double spend and other stuff. So I have the last of the example en el Go. This is the last one. This is Go programming language. To use Bitprim using Go programming language, you have to import our module. Like the previous example, this run the node. And then I start an HTTP server to serve an REST API with, again, two functions. The first one is the same last height as the previous example, but the second one is the interesting one. Is a function that takes a payment address, a wallet, and get the history of the transaction of that wallet. To use Bitprim here, this is an object, is an instance of our node created here. And then you can call the get history function that takes the payment address and returns a list or object that I encode here as a JSON string and print in the response. So I have to stop that. Server. And I have to, for Piotr, this is natural for me. not. I have to build the code and run the example. This is the same log. And I have to take one payment address, this for example, and history. It's okay. This is the history, transaction history of that payment address at the point of the blockchain I am at that point in the blockchain, because I have no space in this in my computer. But so if you want to check the code or check the details, you can approach me and talk, and I will show you how it works and what we are doing. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, really. Hi. Well, there's any question, any doubt, any comment?
Keep that. Yes.
Hi, George Levy from Bits Online. I'm interested in finding out more about the modular components, the fact that it's actually a platform built of individual modules, and there's a purpose behind that. Could you tell us a little bit more about why it's modular?
Well, it's modular because really, when you analyze how you need to approach any Bitcoin platform or any Bitcoin client or node, really we understand that it needs to be modular, and it's pretty obvious that all the applications that you saw today, yesterday, and all the modern application that starts from scratch. All of them are considering a modular design, because it's the only way. Really, the only way to do this is very obvious. Very obvious decision, and we have a modular structure, and also another approach that has modules that connects between modules between a messaging. A ZeroMQ messaging solution, so you can even run some models in one instance, another model in another machine, or all together. So it's part of our modularization idea. You can use it with or without messaging. You can even compile it all together. And what is, for example, interesting in our application, you may decide when you compile if you wish to compile for Bitcoin or Litecoin. It's the same code working for both options. So it's a way how a good modularization may help how to create modifications, how to make the development easier.
Excellent, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? We do have time, actually.
Yeah,
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Quick question. I agree with you. We need more developers. Could you maybe shed some light on like what the funding model is for your development crew and all that?
We are a company, so we are developing the technology because we expect to make money in the future by selling services and the skills of our team. Your question is very good. I also think that we need to consider into the scaling path, and really we need to scale right now. So how we are going to finance the development and how we are going to finance the infrastructure, because if not, developers will continue behind what we need. So there are other systems that are including that, like Rootstock, Dash, and other systems that fix that situation. And I think we are at the point that we need to determine and find a way where some reward that needs to be distributed to the developers, because if not, developers, some of them, because there's a lot of hype, will go to other projects that are much more attractive for developers, and others will go for corporations because the salaries are very high, because there are no offerings, so that even the demand is growing, and so they're paying a lot big salaries. And so we need to find a model that is not to become millionaire, but really to can be fully involved in Bitcoin. So I think is right now we are solving it as a company, and our business model is to sell services for companies in the future, but the future probably is 6 years, not in a couple of years. And for us, the talent we have in-house is critical, so we need to attract it, and we need to train people, and we need to include people of the really with good skills in all the areas working together. Just not one guy that generalistic talk about economics, cryptography, databases, networking. It's a model that will not survive the next 5 years.
All right. Who's that? Ready? Oh, I don't want to hit the guys in front of you. All right.
Yeah. Hi there. I totally agree that we need more developers in the space. And I wanted to ask if you are Bitcoin focused only, and if yes, on which branch will you be? And otherwise, will you support any altcoins or, yeah, that's basically my question.
We are 101% Bitcoin focused.
Yeah.
We did the Litecoin version just to show as the use case of our code base, to show how simple it is to modify it and how fast we can do it. And to also, it's funny, but doing the Litecoin version, we find some holes and some mistakes in the Bitcoin's part, because when you change the parameters, you start seeing different behaviors. I'm not considering any other altcoin. And about the branch, what you're asking?
If there might be any fork in some future of Bitcoin.
I expect we can solve the solution, but we don't have much time, so we need to move forward. And for me, it's like a divorce. If two parties want different things, we say goodbye, and I wish you the best, and let's do it. I don't think it's A or B. Let's move forward. We don't have really more time, because we will continue discussing. If we find the solution, it will be really too late.
Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I guess after this conference, maybe we, lose each other. So I created a WhatsApp group and Telegram group. So I don't know how to give my number, so you can message me and I add you to the group. Is it possible to say the number? Okay. Plus 31 61 84 31 646.
Can you try it one more time?
Okay. Plus 31 61 84 31 646.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, no worries at all.
All right, you want to toss it behind you?
Okay, here it goes. Hi. So the question I have is, and obviously I'm not a coder, so a lot of what you just showed looked like NASA stuff to me. But I am a user, so my question is, how are you? I don't know what the right word is. Marketing this, getting the word out. Have you already had coders who prefer different languages use this, test it out, and give you feedback as to their ability to now easily or more easily develop stuff on the blockchain as a result of it?
Well, we arrived to this point where we decide to include a very strong C API, because we get feedback from different developers, medium to advanced, that says, okay, a REST API is not enough for us. We really need to interact with the code. We need a programmatic interface, but it don't exist, and I wish to work in Python, I wish to work in Go, I wish to work in Node.js, in the language they use more and it's more efficient for them, but that don't exist. So, and also when for our internal development, when we need to approach different projects, we find that working everything inside the main application, it becomes not very efficient, very slow. So in this way, and also forced by the lack of experienced blockchain developers, we need to include this interface, to bring talent that maybe not experts in C++ or that has some skills, but they are more experienced in other languages. So it will help the market, and also will help us to speed up the process. Thanks. Anyone else?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.